This one's fun because I consider Chad Brown a dear friend who I've worked with many, many times. Chad Brown, football, class of 1992. Second team All-American as a senior in 1992. Chad overcame 3 separate injuries that season to finish the year as unanimous All-Big 8 selection. He ended his career as CU's 4th all-time leading tackler, was 3rd all-time in solo stops, 4th in tackles for a loss. He also made a name for himself with one of the more interesting hobbies in CU football history. You might know this about Chad. He bred snakes and lizards, once traveling to Costa Rica to hunt reptiles at night. During the day, he hunted quarterbacks. A 2nd-round pick by Pittsburgh in the 1993 NFL Draft, played 4 seasons with the Steelers before moving out of Seattle and then the New England Patriots, with a return to Pittsburgh in between in the latter in a 15-year NFL career. He had over 1,000 tackles, 79 sacks in 188 games in the National Football League. He has been dabbling in coaching. He has been working very studiously and doing phenomenal working in the media, doing games, not only with us here on the Colorado Football Network, but doing some national work and on television. Well, he's a good-looking guy. You'll see when he gets up here. He belongs on TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer, Chad Brown.
I don't have any grandkids yet, so I can't compete with Stan. That's going to be impossible to compete with. How awesome is this? This Hall of Fame thing, to give a shout out to my guy, Ric Flair. Woo, right? Celebrate this. This is awesome. It's humbling, but awesome all at the same time. Obviously, everyone's going to get up here and talk about coaches and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about these Hall of Fame people that allow us up here to become Hall of Famers. So a first shout out of gratitude to Coach Bill McCartney, Hall of Fame person clearly. Saw something in this skinny, shy kid from Altadena, California, brought him to CU, and during his visit to my house and meeting my parents, he told my parents he's going to be like a father to me while I was up here in Boulder. And as an 18-year-old coming to college, that's the last thing you want is another father. Well, the 47-year-old Chad knows that's exactly what I needed. I needed a Coach McCartney in my life, that Hall of Fame person, to steer me along the way, to show me and demonstrate to me what agape love is, how you can love your brother in the locker room, how you can love this community in Boulder and all these people in it, and really broaden and expand your vision of love. And one of the things Coach Mack talked about when I was on my recruiting trip here was, this is going to be the springboard for the rest of your life. There's a chance that you'll meet your wife, which I did, here at the University of Colorado. You'll live here in the state of Colorado, which I do. And your kids will become Colorado Buffaloes, which they are. So thank you, Coach Mack, for giving me the springboard to the rest of my life. Not all of us get to be in a Hall of Fame, and those of us who do, our Hall of Fame athletic experience is just a small part of it. But in the end, I think we all want to be Hall of Fame people. So, so much of my talk here is going to be about all these Hall of Fame people who have demonstrated what it is to really be a Hall of Famer. 2 years ago, I had a chance to be a coaching intern with the Tennessee Titans. And I worked with the amazing and great Dick LeBeau. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame, but before he was an NFL Hall of Fame, he was a Hall of Fame person. And all the football players, I would imagine most of the athletes in the room, know during training camp there's that hazing period. Well, 2 years ago with the Titans, they made the rookies get up and sing a song. And this rookie who sat next to me in team meetings was incredibly shy. Good player, but incredibly shy. So when it was finally his turn at the end of training camp to sing his song, he got up to sing "Lean on Me" in front of the entire team. And the first words came out, and his voice cracked, and they balled up paper, and they threw it at him. They booed him off the stage. And this kid was completely crushed. His teammates crushed him because he was so shy he couldn't get the words out. So we leave that team meeting and go into our defensive meeting. And Coach LeBeau, being the amazing man that he is, of course, he plays the guitar and he sings as well. So he says, "Come here, young fella." Brings him up in front of the room, puts his arm around him, and says, "Me and you are going to sing 'Lean on Me' together." So Coach LeBeau starts singing with him. The kid starts singing, 15 seconds later, the entire defensive room is singing, and we have just turned this kid who's shy like I once was and given him a voice and given him confidence, taken him from where he was weak and then made him strong. And I think that's what Hall of Fame people do. They find us where we're weak and they make us strong. So yeah, we're celebrating our athletic achievements, but we all can be Hall of Fame people. Going back to meeting my wife here at the University of Colorado, I'm sure there's a Hall of Fame someplace for cheerleaders, but if there isn't, there deserves to be one, because Kristen Brown, my lovely wife, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And then from that Buff love story, now we have our own two Buffs, Amani and Aaron Brown. Love you guys. To all my CU linebacker brothers who set such a high standard that I fought and tried to achieve and match every single day. So going back to Mike Jones, Terry Johnson, Alfred Williams, Kanavis McGee, Paul Rose, Greg Beaker, Ted Johnson, and the list goes on and on and on. For a while, CU had more linebackers in the NFL than any other school. So Rick, George, can we get back to that, please? Can we please get back to that? Hall of Fame people, going back to that. My father, James Brown, Hall of Fame person. In Pasadena, where I'm from, my high school, John Muir High School, we play our crosstown rivals, the Pasadena Bulldogs, in the Rose Bowl in a game called the Turkey Tussle. So my senior year, the Turkey Tussle is on a Saturday. And as usual in the Brown house, James Brown wakes me up and says, "Hey, we've got some yard work to do." I'm like, "Hey, it's the Turkey Tussle. It's November 14th. This happens every year." Well, that lawn needs to be mowed every Saturday. So very early on, I was taught that the standard is the standard. It doesn't change. It doesn't change at all. So thank you, Dad. Thank you for teaching me. The standard is always the standard, and you got to do what you got to do. Thank you. To my non-linebacker teammates at CU, my roommate, Julian Hayward, James Hill, now principal at Boulder High School, Greg Lindsay, Dennis Collier, Ariel Solomon, Joel Steed, the list is really, really long. Hall of Fame guys and Hall of Fame friends. Guys who have been there at those life moments when your brothers need to be there for you. The birth of your kids, your wedding, death of family members. That brotherhood we formed in that locker room is deep and everlasting and will never, ever end. Hall of Fame person, Marsha Brown. Hi, Mom. Going back to the theme of helping people where they're weak and making them strong, my mother went back to school as a grown-up to learn Spanish, to be able to communicate better with the parents of the students in her classroom. So shout out to you, Mom, a Hall of Fame person, teaching me lessons. To all these going into the Hall of Fame tonight, to the list and all those photos out there of all those Hall of Famers in the past and all the future Hall of Famers, congratulations to us tonight, and thank you for the past Hall of Famers, and I guess a congratulations to the future Hall of Famers for being what you are, Hall of Fame athletes, but also Hall of Fame people. The last shout out will go to Coach Brian Cabral, my linebacker coach here at CU. All the people who I've listed here certainly had an impact in my life. But that impact was a little bit removed. It was a lesson. It was a speech. It was words that came true 20 years later. No one else who I've listed actually broke into my apartment and woke me up and made me go to class. There's only one person who did that. So you can call it tough love if you want to call it love, I suppose. But the fact that he demonstrated such care for me It was beyond just what I could do on a football field. He saw something in me that I did not see in myself. And he worked and got up early and crawled through a window to make sure that he could help me become strong where I was weak. And that's what Hall of Fame people do. Physically got me out of bed, threw me in the shower, stuck me in his car and dropped me off on campus and said, hopefully we never have to do this again. It was a one-time lesson. Thank you, Coach Cabral. So look around your world over these next couple days. Thank those who helped you where you were once weak and helped to make you strong. Think about you and how you can help people who are weak and help them become strong. Our world today wants to take our weaknesses and exploit them. Take our weaknesses and turn them into fatal flaws. Hall of Fame people, they do the opposite. They help people become strong where they are weak. Be that Hall of Fame person in someone else's life so someone else can live this dream that I get to live, being up here talking to you guys as a Hall of Famer. Thank you, Kristen Brown. Thank you, Amani Brown. Thank you, Aaron Brown. Thank you, James Brown. And thank you, Marsha Brown. And as always, go Buffs.